good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I am so happy to be back. I'm feeling great. I don't know if you guys have been feeling good, but I've been watching all the YouTube channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the great events coming up. Black History Month, stand up. Be proud of yourself. Give yourselves a big. That's right now. And I got my partner in crime back. Let's welcome Jody Ann. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Once again, pretty much you ask me every day. I'm a fun-loving gal, so I'm pretty great today. Sun is shining.
All right. I don't see the drink though, but we're gonna bypass that right now.
We're not. That was on Monday. What happened? You trying to call me out here? I don't know what's going on. I thought we were a team.
We are. I'm just seeing. I got your back. That's what I'm saying. I don't see the drink. I gotta make sure you're doing it. See?
That's true. You're keeping me accountable. I like that.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Now, if you don't know who Jody Ann is, she is the brainchild from Malcolm's Choice. Right behind her, it's an all-in-one system for business. That's right, Black-owned entrepreneur business. If you're trying to get your business out there, you got to get on to Malcolm's Choice. Don't wait. Get on it. And today we have another special guest. We've been doing a special guest for the whole month of February, bringing you entrepreneurs from around the world, different things. Like we've been from health to business to finances to book to literature. Anything you can think of is all a one-stop shop right on Malcolm's Choice.
That's right.
So who do we got for our next guest?
Yeah, so we have the owner of the Nile Valley Bookstore, which has been in operation since 1999 in the city of Toronto. And again, it's another way where we can get knowledge of self. They're featuring a lot of Afrocentric literature, books, kind of similar to Knowledge Bookstore, but in the Toronto area instead. So we have the owner, Nasakare of Nile Valley Bookstore, and he's here to join us and tell us more about his business.
Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Not too bad. Everything's good for a morning. You know what I mean?
Did you
a cold morning in February, but we're making the best of it.
There you go. Did you have your tea this morning?
Of course. A little ginger, a little honey. You know how that goes.
See, you're set. You're ready for this morning's interview. You're good to go.
Good to go, bro. Good to go.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Nosakare. I'm in love with African history, African culture, that sort of thing. And my aim and objective is just to provide honest, truthful information about African culture to our community and anybody else who's interested. Because growing up in Toronto, there was never African content either in school curriculum or in libraries. So you know how life goes. There's certain events that just come together and it propels you into action. So that's what happened.
All right. So give us some background on yourself. Born and raised, growing up, everything. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So born in Trinidad and Tobago, came to Toronto long time ago. I don't want to tell you what year. But I started school in Toronto in grade 6, went to high school, all of that stuff. And this is what I always noticed. I always noticed that our culture was never highlighted. Our culture was never shown in a positive light. And whenever it was shown, it was always degrading. So a lot of people always felt very, deficient in their attitude. They had low self-esteem about themselves, about other African people, about their physical bodies. So actually a friend of mine gave me a cassette in the 80s about African history by Dr. Yosef Ben Buchanan about the Nile Valley civilizations, ancient culture, the pharaohs, the medicine, the architecture, the shipbuilding, and a lot of biblical history involved in the Nile Valley. And so that just, spurred my interest, spurred my love about Africa. And then when I got into selling books, I realized there was a whole bunch of literature available for children, for teenagers, where you could see yourself as the hero, the heroine, and it made you feel large. That's, like, like, you see, so it's almost like you're reading a book, but it's like you in the book, like there's a book about Mansa Musa growing up with his mom and his dad. You feel like that's you. And some guy was an architect, and you said, when I grow up, I want to be an architect just like that. And like there were books with little girls. It was like your sister. You said that one looks like my cousin. You know what I mean? Or auntie this. So when I started to sell books, that was one of my focus, was to get books for young people, young children. And what I realized was, and this is my biggest seller up to now, women, mothers would come to buy books for their children and themselves. Fathers would buy books for their children and then themselves. Because everybody says, what I notice is that if the children don't see themselves, they
Exactly.
come home one day and they say, Mommy, I want to be white. Daddy, I want to be white. I don't like my hair. How come I don't have long hair? But if they saw themselves in a book where, like, there's a really great book called The Nutmeg Princess, where this brother wrote this book about, it's set in Grenada. So that's why it's called The Nutmeg, and it's about a little girl. So it's like, once they see that, she's important, she's treasured, her sense of self is now cemented. It's going to get stronger by the day, the more books you get, stuff like that.
And there's
Yeah,
there's a visual of the person. So what I see, then I can be that same person. That's why you're always, like they say, always give positive influences and positive images in front of your child, because if they always see that, they'll grow up that way.
That's right. And what I like to is about literature is that, you know how it is, like for a parent, you might tell the child one thing, but when they leave your house, they have different stimuli.
Yeah.
But when now the book reinforces what the community, the family is saying to them, it's more real, it's more tangible, it's something that they'll listen to more readily. And, like, let's say 3 or 4 of them are reading the same book, like, I want to be this character, I want to be that character, you know what I mean? I want to be Mansa Musa, I want to be Asante, I want to be Rosa Parks, you know what I mean? So now they have somebody that looks like them that they could look up to, you know what I mean?
Right, because you can tell a child until you're blue in the face the same thing over and over. Until they see it, they'll be like, oh, Daddy was right.
Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes it takes 30 years.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about myself personally.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah, trust me, we get it. Yeah. So give me your top 3 books. Top 3 books.
Okay.
Yeah.
For children, what this is the other thing. Growing up in Toronto as a West Indian, I never really knew there were much African Canadian people here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, there was like 1 or 2 guys, like, where you from? Toronto. So I'm not really sure what their family lineage is or whatever. But by selling books, I'm also educating myself. Because I would say, you know what? Let me find books on African Canadian history. Do you know that Owen Sound, which is 3 hours north of Toronto, was first settled, other than the non-native people, by an African man called John Hall? And Owen Sound in Northern Ontario became the northernmost terminus on the Underground Railroad. So people coming through Detroit, Windsor, they went through London, Guelph, and they walked all the way up there to be free. So what I'm doing is my focus for the last couple of years has been African Canadian presence. And so one of my books is it's called Queensbush. And it's about the African people who were living up in that northern region. And then I also, a big seller is Africville. You know about Africville in Nova Scotia? So that's where the loyalists from the United States were coming, the African loyalists, and they settled in Shelburne and Birchtown and Africville and Halifax, that sort of thing. I didn't even know African people were in PEI, Labrador, New Brunswick. You know, like, what are you guys doing there? You know what I mean? I thought everybody lived in Toronto, you know? So Queens Bush is a big seller, Africville is a big seller, and believe it or not, the autobiography of Malcolm X still sells really well. A
Oh,
man transforming himself from somebody who doesn't have a vocabulary, from somebody who's just, following the street life. But it's interesting that one of the things that propelled him to street life was the rejection of his culture by the school system and even by himself, where his parents aspired for him greatness, but it wasn't reflected anywhere in his experience. And then when he went to school, the teachers rejected him as well. So I find that the story of Malcolm X really resonates with people. And also the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey through the years has remained a really staunch seller, because he's the one of the first people to put African history and African greatness into practice.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like a newspaper, he had a printing company, he published books, um, he had like poetry contests, he had like farms, he had restaurants, he had hotels, and then his one of his claims to fame was he started a shipping company called the Black Star Liners, and I'm talking this like 100 years ago. So this was no joke, and he tried his best, but you can imagine somebody trying to empower themselves 100 years ago. There were a lot of obstacles that weren't of his making. Yeah,
a lot of boundaries.
But yeah, but he was successful because he got it moving, you know. So the philosophy and opinions is still a big seller. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dive right into your bookstore. We're going to go through some of the books and see what we like and see how we combine and how we can support. Stay tuned.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
It's easy for customers to buy black once they know where to go. The mission of Malcolm's Choice is to make it easy for everyone to buy black. Malcolm's Choice is committed to keeping our dollars circulating in our community and the sustainable economic growth of the African, Caribbean, Canadian business community. Our platforms provide access to quality products and viable services and valuable information to reestablish our connection and trust with our local businesses and organizations in every industry. We are happy and proud to be the show sponsor to empower Black Canadians with knowledge of Black excellence in the GTA. Give us a call at 1-866-985-8459. That's 1-866-985-8459. Let's talk about your business.
Yes, we'd like to thank our sponsors. We got a new sponsor this week. Jody, tell us about our sponsor.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising Wellness Institute. You just saw their advertisement, and they were on Monday. So go ahead and watch that episode back and see what they were talking about. We got the owner, Dr. Tishan, and she was really speaking about how we need to pay attention to our bodies and how we can use natural remedies to heal ourselves. So it was really interesting. They're a sponsor for this week, and we're so excited that they were able to sponsor us.
All right, and I'd like to thank my sponsor once again, Grace. And we know I did, Jody Ann, because we're working out, and I know you like banana. I know you can't get away from banana. So look, I went and got you some Grace plantain chips. So I'm gonna make sure that I got you. You know what I mean? You can snack on those while you work out. I got you, okay?
That's right. We gotta get it approved by Susie first. I'm not sure if chips are on the list of healthy food. Okay. I love it.
All right, we're back and we're going to bring you right in and to get some books. And there is his website right there. All right, so let's talk about the website. I've been perusing through all the books and the sections. Let's go. Let's find out. All right, so as you look through, it's all online. Talk about some of the books here that we're seeing.
Yeah, so it was so interesting that you mentioned working out. So part of the evolution of our community is more healthy eating. So you see this sister, she's originally from Barbados. She made that cookbook Caribbean Vegan. So you can still enjoy your island food, and it's very healthy for you. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm trying.
Us too. We're trying.
Yes.
We're all trying.
Yeah, and usually, if I go someplace and they have vegan food, I would usually eat it. Because what I find is that the chefs work really hard and the food tastes really, really good. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like there's a Ghanaian brother that does vegan and he has this like kiwa salad. It's out of this world, Yeah. And you see that book on provision there? Various islands call it different things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a book, a history of provision. Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta have your dumpling, right?
Yes, exactly. Your yam, your little dasheen, you know what I mean?
For Jody Ann, your three bananas.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
know what? I love some dumplings too. So yeah, that's my kind of thing. The provisions.
How you mean? Dumpling, green fig, banana, yam, with your saltfish and your tomato and onion thing up with some olive oil. You can't go wrong with that, yo.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
Okay, our whole regiment of our diet just went out the window just listening to him.
Right?
But that's healthy, bro. That's healthy. Complex carbohydrates.
Right.
And you see that book there, all drums in the time. So that one's a really good one. It's intergenerational. A grandmother passing on African history and culture, drumming and so on to her grandson. So it's showing that our family is community. It's not just mother and father. And you see the Afric villa that I was speaking about. And the one to the left of it is also set. Yeah, that one there is also set in Nova Scotia, the African Canadian experience. Birchtown as well, the African Canadian experience. And part of our problem has been the rejection of ourselves as of our hair. So I tried to carry a lot of books showing our hair in a positive light. So there's a lot of books about hair as well. And the great Mansa Musa, So we like to have positive images, biographies of great people. And that's, of course, the great Robert Nesta there. So which is what's really good now too. His family have started putting his songs into book form for infants and teenagers. So this one, So this one is for like young readers from about 8 to 12. And they have board books, Three Little Birds and One Love in a board book formats for very young children. So it's just we're passing on our culture through literature to our little ones, just reinforcing that literature.
Nice.
Yes. And this is for the sisters here. Oh, I also try to support a lot of local Toronto writers.
Okay.
So you see that book, Frying Plantain, that's a sister from Toronto, and she wrote this book. It's doing really well as well. It's one of the top sellers. Yeah.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Well, Jody Ann's getting that one.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's on my reading list, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. I love some plantain.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes. Also, Yanla Van Zandt is, I think, because of our trauma, there's a lot of mental issues that we have. People rejecting their bodies, rejecting their cultures. So I always like to have Iyanla there to help you get through those difficult times, positive reinforcement, positive words. And there's usually a few, programs you could follow to help yourself.
That's right.
So this is what I like here. This is the deep, heavy history. This is what I like here. This is how I got started. You see, Black Man of the Nile, that's the first book I ever read on African history.
Wow.
That book there, yeah. So the power of that book, of that writer, Yusuf Ben Buchanan, is always look at the world through an African context. So let me put that in context. If you read the Bible, you will see that the Bible is taking place in Egypt and in Arabia, which was controlled by the Egyptians at the time, which is like Egyptian. If you look at the pictures, it's Egyptian people. But when people talk about the Bible, you never hear the African presence in the Bible. It's always as though it's someplace else. So what this man put into focus is look at the world through an African presence. If Moses was dealing with Pharaoh, he was in Africa. You see what I'm saying? When he escaped to Midian, he was in Africa as well. And from the Nile Valley, you see the book, the Hosea and Ma'at. Civilizations rise when they follow divine principles of truth, justice, order, respect, dignity. And that's what allows civilizations to rise. And once they leave, they forget those principles, they stop practicing those principles, then you have chaos and civilizations fall. So I believe right now this is the time of chaos, but it's also the time of resurrection, that once we know, it's time for us to evolve ourselves now, resurrect ourselves. Yes. Mansa Musa, one of the greatest. Yes.
Yeah, I like how you cut it. I'm just going through your website. I like how you sectioned it off. So, is anything deep that you want to look into? I'm just going through all your categories right here. Social justice is right here. You can really find the book that you're looking for. You can just dive right in, and it's all put together really well, clean, nice. So if you're looking for information, please go to his website. You can email him and say, look, I'm looking for a book. Do you have it? There you go, right there. If you want to go to his website, it's right there. If you also want to find him, all you got to go to Malcolm's Choice. He's also on Malcolm's Choice. Just check it out right there. If you're in the Toronto area, there's his address, 1921 Gerard Street East, and that's in Toronto. 1921 Gerard Street East. Or you can just give him a call, 647-802-6039. That's 802-6039. Make sure you go over there and say, listen, I saw you on Malcolm's Choice. I saw you on the Charles Matthews Show. We came down to grab a book. Hook us up. What are we doing?
No problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. We can do that. We can do that.
All right. So here we go, my friend. Before we let you go, there's a quick game we like to play. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. Favorite song to listen to?
Let me. It's a long answer. I like Steel Pen. So there's a calypsonian from Trinidad called Lord Kitchener. He writes a lot of songs for Pan. So he has a song called Pan in A minor. I don't know what it is. The last couple of days, I get up in the morning and I'm singing that song. It's in my head. All right. Don't ask me to sing it because I'm always off key.
That's all right. We want to keep the listeners going. No, it's okay.
Exactly.
All right. Now he threw me off, man. Now that's now, you know what the funny thing is now? Now I want him to sing a bar or two. You know what I mean? Richard, go ahead.
Let's sing one. They say they were getting bored. So oh my God. Oh my, I can't remember it now.
We put him on the spot, Charles. You put him on the spot.
See, this is why you gotta pay the entertainers the big money. When they go on stage, they don't black out.
That's right.
All right, don't worry about it. Here we go. Favorite sport?
Basketball, no doubt.
All right, favorite team then?
Lakers, no doubt. No, hold on. I don't have a favorite team. Any team that LeBron is on is my favorite team.
Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
All right.
Like you said, you can only do one meal, one breakfast, one lunch, one dinner. Tell me them real quick.
Okay, breakfast. Remember I was telling you, provision, plantain, saltfish, buljol, olive, that breakfast. Lunch, fry fish and cuckoo. Okay. Dinner, jerk chicken, steamed veg, plantain, boil. Can't go wrong with that.
All right.
Let me tell you, jerk chicken has taken over the world.
Very true.
Love it. My friend, you've been a great guest today. You made us laugh. You gave us some great knowledge. Thank you so much for all the things that you do. Keep up the great work. Make sure you make sure you check him out. Go to the website. And if you can't find it there, you know where you can find it? Right behind Jody Ann, right there.
Yes.
It's on Malcolm's Choice. Just go there, key it up, we'll find you. Thank you, my friend. You have a great one.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Jody Ann. Have a good day.
All right.
Stay strong. Keep exercising.
That's right. Thank you.
Yo, see, that's why I love doing this show. People always wonder why, like, Chuck, why are you so happy in the mornings? Why? This is why. Because we get great guests. You know, his energy, his knowledge that we just, like, some stuff I didn't even know. And I saw you writing down some stuff. I saw you writing down.
I got a whole notebook out. Okay. I had no idea about the Owen Sound settlement and John Hall. So I had to write down some notes. Lots of great things there. I love it. And I love everything he said about representation, because representation really does matter. You have to see it to be it. And that's something that I definitely can resonate with too. Yeah.
And I think one for me is I like going through his website and I like looking at all the books for the kids. You know what I mean? It's easy to find. So great job. All right. Who do we got coming up? We got more guests. It's a giveaway Fridays. So don't forget to check us out. So giveaway Fridays. Thank you for watching, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Don't go nowhere. And hey, drop the phone number, Jody. And if you want to get in touch with you to be on the website, drop it like it's hot.
All right. 647-975-4454. Give me a call, guys. It's Jody at Malcolm's Choice. Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional